Okay, guys, it's Sean from STK. We've got Mike Hudson here this morning. Gold's just gone back through $2,500 an ounce, which is a great tailwind for Southern Cross. But something else has happened, which I want to speak to Mike about this morning with Antimony. Good morning, Mike. How are you going?
Good morning, Sean.
Mate, big news on Thursday night, which came through yesterday through the market. Southern Cross had a good day. Can you just let us know what's happened?
Yeah, it's quite a significant announcement that's come out of China regarding antimony. So basically, they've put export limits on antimony and a whole range of antimony products that they dominate the market in. China and Russia control 82% of the world's antimony market. Now, it's a strategic metal. It's on the strategic metal list of every country you can name, from the US, Australia, Japan, EU, etc. It's mainly used in fire retardants. About 20 odd percent, 22% is used as a clarifier in solar cells, but that's not what makes it critical. It's critical because of defense and defense issues, and around it's used as one of the key components in the primer for munitions, as well as hardening munitions and a whole lot of high-tech semiconductor, night vision goggles, etc. So it's the most important metal you've never heard about is the standard line. Yeah, it's a very interesting move that we've seen China make.
Okay, so antimony, with this geopolitical scene that's going on at the moment with Russia, Ukraine, we've got Israel, Palestine, a lot of Western Europe and the US want to increase their stockpiles. How is this going to affect the market in particular? How will this affect Southern Cross Gold?
Well, it's affected the market already. In my view, there's essentially been a proxy ban because of supply issues. Not a ban per se, but a supply issue for the last 6 months. So antimony prices have literally been on a hockey stick over the last 6 months, and that's been around literally just the limitations of supplies. Some of the most fundamental things around the world have also happened in the last 6 months before this announcement. So there was only one smelter at scale for antimony outside of China. China dominates the technical know-how and has multiple smelters to treat antimony. The only one outside of China was in Oman, and that essentially hasn't been working for the last 6 months because they couldn't gain supply. So they couldn't operate. And then only over the last few weeks, it's been announced that they've downsized and they're not operating now at all. So they've been taken out of the market through this supply squeeze already. So what will it mean to antimony? Well, let's see where it goes. But certainly it's an amazingly bullish for the price of antimony. But more importantly, where is the Western world going to source its antimony from? And that then comes down to the munition supply chain, and there's very few opportunities outside of China to do that, and we are one.
I guess that's a very good point that you could be one of those. And I guess the key thing is if there's not many out there, like you've got Costerfield up the road, which is producing, but that's dwindled down its supply as it gets deeper. The permitting aspect of this, will it help get your permits in the future?
Well, permitting is all around social license and around local acceptance, and then moving right through to the state government. It's not the federal government that permits this. But the simple line that we do use is that gold will pay for it and antimony will help permit it. And there's strategic times and important times in the world's history, and in a small little way, this is one of those. So there's only a couple of competitors, or peers, I should say. We're not competing in the Western world, we're peers, and we can all provide a solution. Costerfield is one that you mentioned. Australia's only antimony supplier, concentrate supplier, 60 kilometres from us. They're producing about 1,500 tonnes a year at the moment in what is a primary market's about 100,000 tonne a year. So they're a relatively small component, but a very important one, being one of the few Western world suppliers. And what we have is going to be a very large and arguably we're heading towards Australia's largest antimony project, even though it's 80% gold. It's just quite a large project, and antimony does have that 20% component, which means it's a very real part of our project.
Okay, we've seen that there is a lot of antimony in those results, as you said, 20%. Just focusing back on Southern Cross primarily, you've had a new drill rig start recently. Has that executed without a hitch? Is drilling going as we all would hope?
Faster. We've been drilling deeper holes recently and more controlled holes, and so that has generally slowed drilling as you get deeper, or you want to work out where your hole needs to go. This navigational drilling or wedge drilling, so that by nature is a little slower, but drilling further west now into shallower areas means that the drillers are literally doing little woohoos because they're getting shallower holes. So the speed and the cost of drilling has dropped actually dramatically for us in the last month or so as we're mixing the shallow with the deeper. But yeah, so not a hitch.
Wonderful. So looking forward to some more announcements soon. You've certainly not disappointed with the consistency and the frequency, and I guess the probability of continuing hitting that good gold. I saw a message from Shaw Partners on LinkedIn the other night, and there was a whole heap of different points where Southern Cross, there was quite a lot of announcements, and it's wide. The body is expanding. You're proving it, and it just keeps getting better and better. So as a shareholder, just want to say thanks and keep up the good work.
Thanks, Sean. It's a unique project, and that's what that graph showed. We've got grade and width, and we're up there with the very best discoveries on Earth.
It's really good to see, just on the last note, that we're getting support from large brokers now. Generally, when you start as an exploration company, they ignore you, but we've certainly got the market's attention, both domestically and internationally, with the likes of the big brokers. You've spoken to some very big names, which I won't talk to now, but you've certainly come under the spotlight of the big end of town, which, congratulations, that's a feat in itself.
You can't beat a good discovery.
Great. Thanks, Mike.